Let's get it.
It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas, and as always, I'm so glad to see it. I thank the Most High for this day that He has given us in order to rejoice in and be glad. And I am. I'm what you might call working on my day off. And that's funny because that leads right into our thought for today. And we thank the Most High for it. And our thought for today is, it's all business as usual. It's all business as usual. And I'm going to read through a few scripts and then we'll elaborate over them. And this is Luke 17:20 through 37. One day the Pharisees asked Yahushua, "When will the kingdom of the Most High come?" Yahushua replied, "The kingdom of the Most High can't be detected by visible signs." You won't be able to say, "Here it is," or "It's over there," for the kingdom of the Most High is already among you. See, what he was doing right then and there, he was sharing with them boys a secret, or teaching them about the kingdom and actually who the kingdom was. Okay. Then he said to his disciples, "The time is coming when you will long to see the day when the Son of Man returns, but you won't see it. If people would tell you, 'Look, there is the Son of Man,' or 'Here he is,' or 'Here he is,' but don't go out and follow them." And see, that turned it all the way back around. He was telling his disciples that he was the kingdom. Because he said the time will come when you will, hold on, it says, "For the kingdom of the Most High is already here." Then he goes right on to tell his disciples, "The time is coming when you will long to see the day when the Son of Man returns, but you won't see it." People will tell you, "Look, there is the Son of Man," or "Here he is," but don't go out and follow them. But first the Son of Man must suffer terribly and be rejected by this generation. When the Son of Man returns, it will be like it was in Noah's day. In those days, the people enjoyed banquets and parties and weddings right up to the time Noah entered his boat and the flood came and destroyed them all. Oh boy. And the world will be as it was in the days of Lot. People went about their daily business, eating and drinking, buying and selling, farming and building, until the morning Lot left Sodom. Then fire and burning sulfur rained down from heaven and destroyed them all. Yes, it will be business as usual, right up to the day when the Son of Man is revealed. On that day, a person out on the deck of a roof must not go down into the house to pack. A person out in the field must not return home. Remember what happened to Lot's wife? If you cling to your life, you will lose it. And if you let go your life, you will save it. Or if you let your life go, you will save it. That night, two people would be asleep in one bed, and one would be taken, the other left. Two women would be grinding flour together at the meal, one will be taken, the other left. Where would this happen, teacher? The disciples asked. Yahushua replied, just as the gathering of vultures shows there is a carcass nearby, so these signs indicate that the end is near. Oh boy. What a great text. There's so much wrapped in this text, but I'm going to keep it very simple. And we're going to go with a few scripts that stood out to me. And that's Luke 17:26 through 29 and 33. When the Son of Man returns, it will be like it was in Noah's days. In those days, the people enjoyed banquets and parties and weddings right up to the time Noah entered his boat and the flood came and destroyed them all. And the world would be as it was in the days of Lot. People went about their daily business, eating and drinking, buying and selling, farming and building, until the morning Lot left Sodom. Then fire and burning sulfur rained down from heaven and destroyed them all. Yes, it will be business as usual, right up till the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Excuse me. And I wanted to say this before we read over 33. Both instances show how wicked the world was actually, or how wicked the world actually was at both times, or both generations, we'll put it that way. And what it's basically saying, the Most High's patience had come to a full, or his patience had ran out. And just as he's been telling me, tick tock, time is running out, it's come to be the same way in this generation. And the text speaks on it, about this generation. We see all kinds of sin. We see all kinds of what's the word? Abominations. See, when you see abominations happening all around you, and everywhere you look and turn, abominations right here, one right after the other, then you know something is up. And the Most High gave me this script, and like I said, he pointed out these texts within the scripts, and basically he was like, it's business as usual. It's all business as usual. And basically he was telling me, well, we're going to read this one. Here in Luke 17:33, it says, if you cling to your life, you will lose it. And if you let your life go, you will save it. So basically right there, he's telling us what must be done. And Yahushua said it when he was on the run. I like to joke around with that text because it's so funny to me. He was actually, they went to Passover, and he stuck around and stuck around and stayed at the temple where they was teaching and breaking bread on them scripts. And when his parents, they had left out, and by the time they looked up and realized that he wasn't with them. So when they got back to Jerusalem, they asked him, oh, where you been? You know you supposed to be in the caravan with us. And he said in Luke 2:49, how is it that you sought me? Don't you know that I must be at my Father's business? And that's in my own words, because it says, which wist ye not that I must be at my Father's business. So I just put it in terms that we would understand and know. Don't you know that I'm at my Father's business? Don't you know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do? And then he said in John 9:4, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, because the night cometh when no man can work. And that is the night that the text is speaking about, when fire and brimstone falls from the sky like it did in the days of Lot, and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And how the judgment came during Noah's day when he sent the flood. Seeing the next point the Most High pointed out to me, he always has a remnant. He's always got a man. And see, he pointed out to me that Noah was his man in them days, and Abraham was the man in those days who actually prayed for Lot. And Lot would be the righteous man in this case. But Abraham was the one that was the Most High's friend. But the whole point is, the Most High always has a remnant that's going to do the work. That's going to cry loud and spare not. And like the text says, one that clings to your life, you will lose it. But if you let your life go, you would save it. See, that's what the sparing not means also. Yes, you'll cry loud and not sparing people's feelings, but you'll crying loud and sparing not your own life. You're saying, okay, I give myself away so you can use me, like the song says. I choose to be a living sacrifice for you to do my Father's business. And I start to name this, it's all business as usual for many. But I left it as it's all business as usual because we are all working. It's not just most, everybody is working. We all putting our time in, like the old song say, put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Put your time in, payday is coming after a while. Payday, payday. But we used to go to town on them old songs, I'm telling you. Well, we'd be up in that church sweating, slobbering all over ourselves like I'm doing now, I know. Just singing and hollering, enjoying the presence of the Most High, because he met us there, for sure. Even in our ignorance, he met us there. And he taught us so much about his word during them times. I think a lot of it, mostly for me, I would say that he instilled his word in my heart. And now he's able to bring it back up when needed. But I do thank the Most High for this opportunity. And I do not take this for granted that I'm able to come out and share the Most High's thoughts that he shares with me. And it's simply by me taking the time to study to show myself approved. Or should I say, taking the time to make myself available to him. And see, we all must do this. We all must make ourselves available to the Most High in our own separate sweet spots or secret places daily. And see, this is important to do it daily. I have seen the effects of folks not spending time with the Most High daily in my own life and personally and in the lives of some of my loved ones and family. But it's so important to keep your faith built up. It's just like drinking water every day. If you don't drink water every day, you're going to start showing the results of not being hydrated. What's going to start happening is you're going to start taking away from your body's supply, which we are all made of water. A large percentage of our bodies are made of water. And we don't keep the ratio correct or balanced, then we start going into our reserves. And that's when you start seeing people's faces look dry and sickly. Their lips start chapping up. And it shows a need for hydration. And see, that's how it is with the Most High's word. And it's a point that he made to me. He said, I'm making you a great businessman for the kingdom. I said, okay, I'll take that. He said, because you're at my Father's business. Like the text says, you're at my business. So that in turn makes you a great businessman for the Most High when you're doing the work he called you to do while it's day. See, that's a big point too. You're doing the work while it's needed, not when you want to. See, it's a point. There are black ants all around me. Well, I don't see none of them right now. When I first, well, there were a couple. When I first came out here, they was all right in this area. I guess they parlay around here because it's a picnic table and folks be dropping food or whatnot. Yeah, but the Most High had this idea on me strong today. He gave it to me like, I think Wednesday or Thursday. I missed Wednesday and Thursday because we was having work done to where we're staying. And then on Tuesday it stormed here in Charlotte. And I wasn't able to get out and get all my work in. But all praises to the Most High. I had to take this opportunity to come on out today. Pretty much since I didn't have a good full week last week, I ain't have no excuse not to come on out and share these thoughts he had already given me earlier in the week. Pardon me, or earlier last week. But the whole point of today's idea is putting your time in. Be at your Father's business. Because everybody is working and it's all business as usual for everybody. But see, you have to switch up jobs. You have to change jobs from time to time in your life. Because we outgrow occupations. And it's a must and a need for a new boss. You know how you at a job and that boss don't treat you right, don't pay you right, don't give you the right days off like you asked, always make excuses for why you can't have days off that you need, don't want to give you the raise you deserve, while you making them millions, they paying you table scraps. So you say, okay, let me go looking in the yellow pages, or what they call it, the wanted ads, help wanted ads. And you basically find a position that you're well qualified for, and they're actually paying you so much more money. So you say, okay.
You got an iPhone charger?
I don't. know he see me recording, he's still bouncing the ball. But you have to let people be where they're at. Like I said, at least he said excuse me. But anybody would say excuse me if you want something from me. But all praises. Yeah, like I was saying, it's all about, we was talking about an occupation. And like I said, you go and look in the want ads and you see a position that you're well qualified for, paying thousands more a year than what you're making now. So you apply to that job and be like, and speak to the boss. And he tell you, I've been waiting for somebody like you. As long as I've had this business open, I've been waiting on you. You're such a great fit. You're everything we're looking for. What can we do for you as you come and join our team? We're gonna give you the money you want and are well due and deserving of. And what else can we do for you to make you satisfied? And you tell them you want these certain days off, you tell them that you're a child of the Most High, and you believe in celebrating the feast days and the holy days, and you say, oh, no doubt. Then you start asking questions about those feast days and holy days, and you tell them who you are as a Hebrew Israelite. And he is so piqued with interest, he invites you to dinner to meet his wife. And you're able to share your faith with their family. But this is just an illustration of how it is coming into the Most High's kingdom. Everything fits. You're right there in that sweet spot that we can't get away from talking about. Because it all goes back to making yourself available to the Most High. Then everything in your life would line up and come into being like it should be. Okay, we're not going to linger today. I just had to come and get that off my chest, so to say. And I pray that this encourages somebody to get at your Father's business and stop procrastinating like I used to. So I'm going to share one more thing before we get going. What broke me from my procrastination was that stroke. For those that don't know, I had a major stroke. Go on. I had a major stroke, which caused me to have a brain surgery, or as my wife always say, it was a procedure, Robert. It wasn't surgery. I'm like, girls, they put me to sleep as a surgery. And that was one of the major operations that I went through. The most tedious, I would say. And the worst time I had while I was in that hospital. Because what they did, they sent a stent throughout my body from my left thigh all the way up through my heart and into my brain up until where the blood clot was. Then they sent a probe up through that stent, which on the end of that probe they had a camera and a squirt gun and a vacuum. So they went into the blood clot, shot it with the squirt gun, then sucked out the blood clot, and that was basically the surgery. But see, the hard part about that is when they woke me up, they still had the stent in me. And they was like, we couldn't pull it out while you were asleep. I'm like, well, that sounds kind of stupid. But anyway, they told me that I had to be perfectly still for an hour while she removed the stent out of my body. And see, this taught me so many lessons that I'm now gleaning from 5 years later. The major one was learning how to sit down and be still and be quiet. Because that was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my whole life. with all the pain and agony I went through, that was the hardest thing I had to go through, being still while they pulled that stent out, little by little, little by little. And what she told me in the beginning, she was like, Mr. Holloway, if you move, that stent could cut you up on the inside, and we might not be able to find where you're bleeding from. You might have internal bleeding, and we can't find it enough in time to save you. So this was a very horrific situation, to say the least. But then after that, I went through an open heart surgery, which you can see that zipper right there, to repair a heart valve. My left heart valve was defective. I pretty much believe when they slid that stent through my heart, they damaged my heart valve at that time. I may be wrong, but I don't choose to really talk about it too much, because it's what they call spilt milk. They was able to fix it. I'm here telling the testimony, so it's all good. And then they had to do 3 major operations on my left leg to remove blood clots. I'll show it. You can see right here, I'm a little ashy. They had to cut me all the way up to here on this side to get the blood clots out. And from right about there, right up until here on that side to get the blood clots out. And then finally, because of the blood flow restriction to my left foot, they had to amputate 3 toes, which was another terrible experience also, because that left me with a permanent reminder of procrastinating and a permanent reminder of not following the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. And you might say, well, Robert, you can't blame that on not following those laws. The law's been done away with. Okay. Well, if I had been following those laws, statutes, and commandments, I would have been following the dietary laws that I'm following now, and I wouldn't have been putting all them nasty things in my body. I wouldn't be drinking and smoking, drinking hard liquor like it was water, and smoking marijuana and cigarettes like I was a chimney or choo-choo train. And all the other laws I was breaking at that time. But all praises to the Most High. I just share that because it shows how our procrastination can get the best of us or hurt us. But get at your Father's business. Shalom.